Hi everyone, Joe here. How are you at listening? And particularly when you're in a discussion with someone or trying to make a point and relating a story or relating a situation. Uh, and this happens a lot in counseling too. Are you really listening? Or are you thinking about your next statement or what you're going to reply? As I mentioned, that happens a lot in counseling. And as a matter of fact, my daughter was telling me, this was several years ago, my daughter was telling me about their first counseling session. And she and her husband went in for counseling. And the counselor asked her to tell her part of the reason. And so it was all about, oh, he said and he did, and it was all about him. And she never took any of the blame. But then the counselor said to her husband, tell me in your own words what she said. Now, don't put any of your judgment or any part of your statements in there, but tell me what she said. And he couldn't do it because he wasn't really listening. He was thinking of what he was going to say, what he was going to reply, or what his statement was going to be. And that happens so frequently. And I've noticed in talking to people, they get that far away look in their eye. Like, they're not listening. Are they even there? But whenever you feel yourself getting on the defensive or getting in a reactive state, take a deep breath and pause and just say, tell me more. And when they repeat something or they say something, you can say, let me see, as I understand it, this is what you mean. And you can repeat or go into the conversation and say, this is what I understand is what you say. Or, do I understand you to mean this? And they repeat it. And if it's not the case, of course, they will come back and say it again. And therefore, it is not defensive. It is not argumentative. You are really listening and trying to understand. So pause and take that deep breath and think. You can always come back with your comeback and say, well, I'm looking at it a little bit differently. This is what I think about that. And then you can tell your side of it. And it is not at all confrontational. Not at all. So tell me more are 3 magic words that can become your best friend with your children, your spouse, your co-workers, your business partner, your team, whomever. And just tell me more when you are really listening and maybe not in agreement, but don't want to get on the defensive and don't want to be reactive. And particularly now with texting and tweeting and all of these things that are, yes, they're interactive, but they're not personal. It seems like you're not talking to someone in person. You really want to keep the communication links open personally, so that you have this interchange between people verbally. And we don't want to lose that. We don't want to lose that contact. So when you do hear something that you might put you on the defensive, take that deep breath and pause. And tell me more. They will be very good friends. We'll talk more about communication, but meanwhile, make it a great day. Bye-bye now.